You're the perfect hunting machine. Fearless. Relentless. You've been searching for one thing your whole life. And she's down there.
Make sure this is the right one.
It's her.
Good. Kill her.
Douglas, first thing I want to ask is, when you read the script for Jupiter Ascending, did you think to yourself, this is absolutely bonkers?
It was not bonkers, but it was very original. Was the first thing. I was like, this is massively original. This is something that I haven't seen before. Often when you see movies on this scale, you know exactly what's coming because it's a remake or it's based on a comic book that you've heard of or you know. So I know what the end's going to be before it started. So this, I was reading, I was like, I have no idea where this is going to go. And the Wachowskis love to use completely original sort of names for things, and this also, so had to have almost a glossary to kind of understand it all.
So it's refreshing not to be involved in a remake, in other words.
Yes.
Do you think there's far too many?
Not necessarily too many, but it's kind of it's rare that people do original work on this scale anymore. So it was, yeah, it's exciting to be a part of that.
Talk to me about the Wachowskis. What's it like being directed by, well, two people?
It's different. It's something that I haven't done before, but they've worked together for so long that it's pretty seamless. You know, you don't really feel that you're being directed by two opposite forces. You've got two forces working in the same direction, and they both have their own sort of roles to play, and those roles cross over a lot as well. But yeah, no, it's a really lovely collaborative environment, and you kind of feel kind of protected by the fact you have two of them. You know,
you are Titus Abraxas. He's a bad one, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because I've played, like, my last film that came out, The Riot Club. I really didn't like my character, and he was sort of, he wasn't necessarily a villain, but he was very unsavoury, and it was hard to play him at times. You came away at the end of the day feeling a bit sick. But this, I always enjoyed playing Titus. I never felt too bad. You know, I quite liked him. Yeah.
Did you have anyone in mind, well, from cinema or from literature, when that might have inspired you for Titus?
I think it was a lot of it was from the Wachowskis' imagination. They kind of really showed me this world that he lived in. They showed me his ships. They showed me his servants, the kind of women that he kept around, and the kind of people. You know, the world, because each sibling, Belem, Kalik and Titus, have their very own distinct worlds. So they showed me the world that Titus had built for himself over the thousands of years. So I could really then understand who this person was and kind of build this character from there up. How
would you describe the vibe on the set with Milos and Channing? Was it kind of a lot of hanging out? Were you buddy, or was it just professional? I
mean, Channing was having to push himself physically a lot. Every second that he wasn't on the first unit, he was on second unit. He was having to push himself physically, stunt-wise. They were building rigs that had never been built before. He was, about 95% of the time you see them doing something physical, some stunt, it is always them or a stunt double. It's never a computer-generated image. Sometimes you think, oh, that's cool, but I guess they just made it in the computer. You can do that on a cut. No, like, they were literally pushing their bodies to do things that were just massive. I mean, they were swinging them through Chicago on the end of helicopters, had to close down the whole city, you know, when they're flying on those boots. There was actually, you know, people doing that. So it was kind of very focused in that sense, but ultimately there was time to hang out and chill out, and you know, they're really good fun people. You mentioned
the ships there. The hardware in this movie is remarkable. The spaceships are essentially floating palaces, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's spectacular looking. Are you a sci-fi fan?
I do like sci-fi. I've never been like a hardcore sci-fi fan, but I always like the idea of it. It always feels like anything is possible, and it feels, you know, you go in. I feel quite relaxed when I'm watching sci-fi because it's so otherworldly that it's not grounded in anything to do with your own life. It's all, anything is possible.
Your Earth is a very small part of a very large industry.
I feel I have you at somewhat of a disadvantage.
Is that because you kidnapped me?
Some lives will always matter more than others.